Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Magus. How are the volume levels? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, it's my last day off for a while, so figured I'd make the best of it, you know? Okay, good. Yeah, Hastor was complaining about the volume levels a little bit. I was blowing out his eardrums, I guess, so I turned down the mic a little bit. Hopefully it's little more, a little less dangerous, I suppose. And see you later is here too. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you guys could make it. Yeah, so I'm monitoring the stream at the same time. I actually got my dual monitors set up. So I'm still trying to fiddle with what I can get away with. in terms of watching YouTube and keeping track of the chat on my second monitor now. I just hope I don't run into bandwidth issues here. And I did see that it was buffering a little bit, but it looks okay now. Of course, I did just turn my settings down to 240p on the stream that I'm pulling back down. Yeah, a little bit of buffering. See you later. I've been okay now for the last 30 seconds or so now. Yeah, if it keeps being a problem, I might just go ahead and pause my own stream here. Oh, we got more. Looks like more buffering here. Yeah. Okay, so I just paused my own stream, my monitoring stream. So hopefully, I mean, I can't imagine that would be just a little bit that I was pulling downstream would affect anything upstream, so it could just be my ISP. Hey, Hester. How's the volume levels? I turned them down a little bit just for you. Okay, good. Good, good. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started here? So happy news. I actually was able to address the script lag issues that I was getting. And so now I get instantaneous dodge rolls again, which was good. The issue ended up being that the, well, I actually pulled up the save in Fallrim Tools, the resaver, and saw that there was a suspend stack, or two of the suspend stacks. Yeah, good. Yeah, I have a nice Blue Yeti microphone, and I'm doing the RTX broadcast stuff, which you might want to look into as well. It helps a lot with live noise reduction. It's free to download. Just look up RTX broadcast, and oh yeah, there's that bedroll. Just look up RTX broadcast. It's pretty easy to download, install, and set up. And then like the background noises and stuff that you deal with every now and then maybe will be mitigated quite a bit. I used to get a lot of AC noise and fan noise from my computer, and it completely like eats it all up now. Completely canceled out. So, highly recommended. Yeah, they can be a little bit bulky on the desk. The headset microphones obviously are way more convenient. Yeah. RTX broadcast is the business. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, the Fallrim Tools resaver showed a huge amount of suspended scripts in the suspend stack, coming specifically from signature equipment, which I haven't seen before. So I was able to disable signature equipment, make a clean save without that mod installed, reinstall it, and I don't seem to be getting that issue anymore. And immediately you can see that my head tracking mod, where he follows the camera, is working with very little delay now. And I can dodge within a few milliseconds now also, which is great. I also noticed, looking at the save file, that the animated armory mod is causing a similar problem, in that the suspended scripts are starting to stack up too. The mod author said that that wasn't really that big of an issue, that it was mostly just log spam. So I'll keep an eye on that. I can fix it if it becomes a problem now that I know how. So, yay, new life in the save, which I'm glad for. Yes, nice and snappy now, which is nice because it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a dodge mod if you have to wait 2 to 3 seconds before the dodge actually takes place after you push the button. Okay, so last stream we returned the Broken Star to Azura. We got that repaired. I actually took on Azura as our deity of choice now. I've been doing my best to meditate at dawn and dusk. Running a slower time scale definitely helps with that. But I do seem to, even though I am hitting each dawn and dusk pretty regularly, pretty much all of them since I've taken her on, I still seem to be decreasing in my favor ever so slightly. So I think what we're going to have to do is start capturing some souls to gain that favor. And capturing souls is usually a pretty evil thing. There's no really getting around it, especially when you know that the souls that you capture end up in the Soul Cairn for all eternity, and that would really suck. So it's hard to condemn anybody to eternity in that place. But I think still having the favor of Kinnereth or Kinarthi in his case, helps with that, because I think I can roleplay it that the wayward souls that Kinarthi is dropping off via the ritual stone, we would have Kinarthi's blessing. Oh, he got really angry there for some reason. What did he get angry at? Something triggered aggression, but I don't know what it was. Oh, there's a frost troll. Where did he come from? Let's get him. Alright. So, yeah, I think we would have our... Kinarthi would have... would give her... or give us her blessing to grab some wayward souls, since she's been, you know, dropping off dead bodies and wayward spirits to help us out anyway. So I think Kinarthi, in conjunction with Azura and Azura's Star, I can roleplay it that Azura's Star is sort of a holding pattern for those spirits before they go into the afterlife. Sort of like a purgatory or something like that. They have to earn their way to the sands beyond the moons. I think that's a good way to roleplay it. And Azura's Star is a little bit different from Soul Gems, so those souls may not actually make it into the Soul Cairn after all. So I think Jagasta would be okay with that. Yes, I am planning on using Soul Cloak and binding it to Okado's. The problem right now, I have Divine Armor, Stone Form, I believe, to boost unarmed damage, and Healing Touch all are filling up my Okado's Recital stats right now. I think once I got Divine Armor all filled up, I can swap that one out. But Healing Touch has been invaluable in terms of survivability. And the Stone Form, the unarmed damage boost, is kind of necessary as well. So in the meantime, I think I'm just going to add that to my favorites. There we go, all the way down to the bottom there. And I'll just cast it manually when I enter battle with certain things. Especially, you know, that soul, or I'm sorry, the frost troll would have been a good one because that's a fairly higher level soul there too. So we'll keep that in mind. Well, I'll try to keep that in mind anyway. I know it's hard to remember doing all that all the time. Let's see, let me catch up on chat here.
A cat boasts to his friends that he's killed 3 bandits. A dog replies, "So, I killed 4. The cat pauses, looks at him and says, "Whoa, a talking dog!"
Thanks, Zora. Hilarious. Okay, so... William is here. Welcome, William, and thank you for the birthday wishes. How does it feel to be 40? Well, it feels a lot like it was to be 39, except now I have the numbers to prove it. The numbers back me up now. And Hastur is joined as well. I do have Apocalypse in there. There's an enchantment that allows you to fill gems without killing. Isn't that a vanilla enchantment? I think it was. Anywho. Yeah, I think Soul Capture is a vanilla enchantment. Pretty sure. Yeah, so... Do I have a published mod list at all? No. I can maybe do a mod watch for this profile, but I run about a dozen or so profiles at all times. And I change my base profile based on what kind of character concept I'm going for. If you had any specific questions right now, I'd be happy to answer them. But in terms of mod watch, I'll look into doing that maybe after the stream. Or export it through Mod Organizer or whatever. And Hastur, no, it's added by Apocalypse and fills your bigger gem once a day. Oh, just once a day without having to kill anything. That's interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I don't really want to console any enchantments in. I'm okay consoling in gear and stuff for followers. Mostly because I'm not going to use them, so I'm not going to be reaping the benefit of them. But when it comes to getting specific enchantments and stuff that I want, that's a little on the cheaty side for me. Yeah, no problem. See you later. I will see what I can do as far as exporting that list and getting you a list. So what else do we do? We did a lot of other stuff, mostly traveling. Oh yeah, we're done recruiting for the Helgen guard postings too. So I think that's going to be our next item on the agenda here, is coming back to Helgen to see if the recruits made it and see what we can do next. But that is kind of less of a priority right now. There's no like real deadline or anything on that we have to go back there and do that really quickly. So what I was thinking, also another tenet of Azura is to discover new locations. So I think what I'm going to do is follow the road down to Windhelm here. We can hit up Woundfirth for some destruction training. We're a little lagging behind in terms of destruction skill level now. Maybe hit up Yorgrim, see what's up with Rumarin. Erendur, he's a vanilla follower, and as such, he doesn't have a whole lot of interesting dialogue. But, I mean, we just picked him up, and we spent all that time figuring out his equipment, his loadout, all his gear, getting him to look just right and everything, so I want to kind of hold on to him for a little bit longer before we pick up anybody else. But Rumarin is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, follower added by 3D NPC. A ring with that enchantment. That is very, very useful. I have actually found the enchantments that fill up your enchanted weapons up to whatever level that they were when you equipped them, just kind of slowly over time, and that's really useful if you play a character that uses enchanted weapons very heavily. Yes, I have seen the new dialogue additions for Lydia. I haven't seen that there were several others. That's interesting. Can you install them separately? Are they modular that you know of? Yeah, I started Rumarin's quest line, William. I never really finished it though. I got how I feel maybe like halfway through it. Pretty interesting stuff, I would say. Ooh, there's a sky shard over there and a bunch of cats. Let's see, I did have a calm spell. I kind of doubt it's going to work on these guys. So I'm going to quick save. Oh, they're all separate. Are they by the same guy? Because the Lydia one did look awesome, and I was really interested in that, but I'm running Skyrim Unbound, which kind of messes with like the whole main quest line and everything. I was kind of worried that things would conflict with that. I keep missing this cat. There we go. Alright, they're already going to kill him. Good to know that this is strong enough, though, that it can affect saber cats. Take the lockpick. I don't think we need anything else there. I am interested in the sky shard here, though. Oh yeah, so we're heading to Windhelm. We're gonna do some destruction training to try to get that caught up with the rest of our skill levels here. And then I think we'll just kind of work our way down this road here, discover these map markers here that we still haven't encountered yet. Mistwatch from all the way back in like the 3rd episode or something like that. The crazed woman found us all the way over in the Reach. So maybe we can go take care of that. And just make our way back to Helgen kind of slowly but surely and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Oh, that didn't last long. Okay. Keep trying to level up our... Oh, come on, Arender. Alright. Arender's got a bad attitude. Have a punch up with Galmar's brother. Yeah, the Stone Fist. Hypnotize does not last long, but I would like to... I would like to level up Illusion so that it becomes more useful. And maybe Arender will behave himself this time around. What the crap, indeed. Oh, yeah, that did not last long at all, did it? God, I really don't want to have to kill those cats. Jagasta loves and appreciates all living things. However, this is going to become a liability with what we got going on here. Really liking this hissing dragon effect. I've waited all save long to try to unlock this effect, and it's well worth it. Hey, Loki's here. Hey, Loki. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I try to post on all the Discords and stuff. So at least if YouTube doesn't notify you, which sometimes it doesn't. You actually haven't missed much. Just me saying that I got some technical issues taken care of, especially in terms of the script lag that I was getting with TK Dodge and stuff like that, so... yeah. But yeah, you didn't miss much. We're just leaving Winterhold right now. We're gonna make our way down to Windhelm and slowly kind of make our way back to Helgen to see if our guard recruits have made it there safely. And we're gonna take care of some business on the road in the meantime. That's about it. We're gonna have to do some soul cloaking though. I do have to remember to do that. Where are these ice piles? Here they go. I sure am glad I didn't have to deal with the ice wraiths. I'd much rather deal with a frost troll than an ice wraith. So thank you for that, you frosty bastard. Now what? Yeah, alright. Maybe now would be a good time to use the soul cloak here, because these guys are just not taking the hint. So the way I'm role-playing these soul captures is that if they go into Azuro's Star, these souls are not being condemned to the soul cairn. So I have to make sure that I'm not keeping any empty soul gems in my inventory, because that would be pretty bad for even... oh, we only got a lesser star, or a lesser soul for that? Well, that sucks. Yeah, so even for Jagasta's worst enemy, he would never wish an eternity in the soul cairn upon them. Take some of the alchemical ingredients, though. Yeah, it could be just that your laptop is chugging a little bit too much for to keep up with notifications on even Discord, you said? Okay, and we leveled up Fire Blast too. Awesome.
Was that one's head?
Yeah, I might just be having trouble receiving those push notifications. Which sounds like a pain.
Or protect us both.
Altair 2.0, yeah. Yeah, I mean, building your own computer can be intimidating.
Or protect us both.
It's a lot easier than you might think, but if you're not comfortable with it, it can be a stressful situation. Some people say you should always build your own computers no matter what. I'm completely capable of building my own computer, but every once in a while I buy a pre-built just because I don't want to I don't feel like dealing with the stress.
All I care to
And if you have an issue with it, you can always just call tech support, you know, as useless or useful as that might be, depending on the company. And you get a one-stop shop for like warranty replacements if you have a bad component and stuff like that.
I'm right here.
I don't blame anybody for wanting to get a pre-built. And sometimes that's, you know, the best. Buying a pre-built computer is the best way to get the best components, especially considering the GPU shortages right now. Stillborn Cave.
Let's go in, shall we?
All right, let's. I mean, I bought this iBuyPower 2 or 3 years ago now. And at the time, that was really the only a reasonable way to get the 1080 Ti graphics card that I wanted. Because only the OEM manufacturers were getting them. The Bitcoin miners were snagging up all the good GPUs at the time. So I bought that one, and I haven't regretted it. But I have basically kind of rebuilt this thing. Rebuilt it over once or twice with the components that I put in it, the upgrades and the modifications to the case for better airflow and all of that. It looks like a shell of a former self, but it runs way better than it has, so there's that.
Trouble ahead.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at what we can do with Fire Blast here. Hey, Panic Monk. What's going on there, Joe? See you later says, I built all my own PCs and almost always something goes wrong. Yeah, I maybe have had 1 or 2 builds that have gone completely well, how I would expect them to go without any issues. Funny enough, those were all builds for other people. You know, even if it's just like something as benign as having to flash the BIOS or something like that, there always seems to be something, or a driver issue or something. Who's buying all the 30 series then? Well, not the Bitcoin miners. I think scalpers mostly. People who are looking to resell them for twice the price. Yeah, the 30s. I mean, the performance boost that you get over the 20 series is the pretty standard 20% or whatever per tier. But it's that price drop is the big business. They present a great value over the 20 series for sure. For a similar tiered product.
Surely my dashing son will not let any harm.
Yeah, Joe, have you like considered just putting components together a little bit at a time? I know it can be expensive even to put together a mid-tier rig. Oh, I got Zora. Sorry, Zora. My bad. Ooh, that's a Reaper. These are going to be tough. Yeah, that's the thing, is you start seeing all this great technology, and you start overshooting. I mean, my eyes are always bigger than my case when I'm putting together a new rig, for sure. And bigger than my budget. It's fun to put together something crazy, but, you know, for most people, something mid-tier is going to be a huge upgrade from what they're currently running and, you know, a quarter of the price. We'll harvest some ingredients, but I want to do a quick save. So another thing that I did was I disabled Death Alternative. I know that was kind of a staple of this series. But but with the script lag that I was getting and everything, I started like disabling things like that. I might try and re-enabling it now that I found what I think was the main culprit in signature equipment. But we'll see. Right now, I just want to enjoy playing without any script lag. Oh, Loki's ready. Yeah, you're not going to be cheated out of any deaths this time, that's for sure. Yeah, Loki's ready. Got the death machine, the death counter. Calibrated and ready.
I've been enjoying this journey with you.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I get impatient. A couple times I have actually started a build with the intention of just buying the components that I want as they go on a deep sale when the time was right. But I always get impatient. It's like I want it now. So then I ended up, you know, racking up the credit card balances and just buying everything all at once anyway.
Let's go.
I didn't upgrade my fire blast either.
Looks like that's the last of them.
So I need to do that. Oh. Haggis said the F word. Get him, Magus.
You really make for a deadly bear.
What, you and Arender? Zora, man, she's such a brown noser, isn't she? I know most of it's sarcastic. Oh wait, yeah, there was a chest over here too that I wanted to check out. Some extra seeker arrows for Arendure there. Yeah, man, tell me about it, Joe. Buying the new house is like the upfront cost is staggering, unless you know you've had another house that you sold and you can use that as like the down payment and stuff. But yeah, for like a good year after I bought mine, it was just bleeding money on it. Especially if you're doing renos, which I'm sure you were. I saw the pictures and stuff. Oh, it's so nice being able to dodge immediately again.
Good work out.
He said the F word and then Magus came. Two things for sure. Damn, if all it takes is hearing a word, I think you're doing pretty good for 40 there, Magus. These ice caves are a little tough in terms of night vision, because sometimes in terms of lighting they can be just a little bit too dark. Night Prowler is going to be tough. But then when you enabled night vision, it's like all the lights that weren't being drowned out by the E&B all of a sudden are reflecting off of all the ice walls and everything. And then Arendure now is holding a torch, which doesn't seem to be emitting any light from the E&B for some reason. Oh no, he was holding a torch, I think, and then... switched it out to flames. Ooh, another Shadling video. I'm always interested in seeing that. Loki is the king of mashups. And mischief. Magus has no complaints. Oh, Haggis stopped counting after 40, so... Everybody's 40. Definitely easy. Well, easy to hemorrhage money. Yeah, because, I mean, you never know just how much you're going to need to fix when you buy the house, so you end up finding things throughout that first year that need to be fixed. And then you're still so busy doing, like, all the work, even if you're paying somebody else to do the reno for you, that you don't have time to make dinner and do all that, so you do a lot of eating out, doing takeout, delivery, and stuff like that, which, you know, adds up as well. Yeah, if you feel like you have too much money, there's no better way to get rid of it than buying a house. Or having kids, probably, too. That I've been able to avoid. Oh my goodness. Guy's really targeting me, and that hurt real bad. Okay. Not so fast, Loki. Okay, I think I need to get in there on that Falmer and fight him up close. Oh, he switched to... Switched away from the lightning bolts, which I am thankful for. I know you were ready. You wanted to count that death. I didn't want to give you the satisfaction. A lot of components could probably be bought, as you said, without losing much, with the exception of, the graphics. That's the tough one right now. I remember when the 30 series was first announced, the 20 series like took a huge dip on eBay for secondhand cards. But I think that's reversed course now, that nobody who, or anybody really, especially the people who want the 3080s, aren't able to get a hold of them. Kung Fu Kitty.
Be a great place to meet adventurers like us. But slaying bandits is fun too.
Haster needs some tea and some cake. Cake sounds really good. Of course, cake always sounds good. Grab some... Okay, how do you guys say Charis? Do you say it with a hard K sound, or do you say it with the CH sound? Because the chitin has the CH as well, but I think that is definitely officially the hard K sound. The Charis, I don't know. I say CH. And I don't know that is actually a real word. It might have just been made up for Skyrim here, so I'm not sure if there is actually a technically a correct way to say it. Oh, the wind's here too. Hey, wind. Ooh, electricity, yeah. I'm glad that our electrical system works well here. This is a really old house that we bought from like the 60s. That's really old for this area, for the Phoenix area, and probably West Coast too. I know that that's a baby house for a lot of the stuff in the East. But yeah, buying a house that old can be kind of a crapshoot with the wires and stuff in the walls, but we actually haven't had a problem at all. So. Okay. How about I actually go ahead and upgrade that fire blast already, huh? Yeah, I looked up chitin, and apparently that is a hard K sound. Karis, I think I tried to look it up. Okay, Joe says Charis. This seems like a pretty even split between the hard K sound and the CH sound. I've always said Charis. I don't know if that's correct. Yeah. I was going to say, isn't it funny that something built in the 80s is now 40 years old, and then I just realized that I was born in 1980, and I'm now 40 years old? Okay, so we have a point to spend here. What are we going to spend it on? A chance to ignite the target for 5 seconds. Searing pain. Damage over time is always good. So Firestarter, a chance to cast Fire Blast twice at no cost. And if you're running Ordinator, you get all the same chances for the fire perks. Which we don't really have any perks in fire right now, yet anyway, but we probably will. Pyromaniac. Increases fire blast damage by 50%, but also increases the mana cost by 25. I like damage. Chance to knock back the target. It doesn't work on dragons. Knockback is kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes you want the knockback and sometimes you don't. Especially if you're a melee fighter. If I were going to be primarily using destruction magic, then yeah, for sure I'd want that knockback all day. But not for a melee fighter, I don't think. Hot Streak, a chance to decrease Fire Blast mana cost by 70% for 8 seconds. I actually haven't had any problems with the mana pool on Fire Blast. It's fairly cheap at the moment. Combustion. If the target is affected by Searing Pain or Ignite, consumes these effects and decreases the fire's resistance, or target's fire resistance by 33%. That would require Searing Pain first, so let's skip that for now. We'll put a pin in that. Okay, Haggis is going to bed. Good night, Haggis. Thanks for dropping in for a little bit, saying hi. I know this isn't my normal time. It's usually a little earlier than this, but thanks anywho. And Lord Daka popped up. Hey, Lord Daka. I almost said Mr. Daka, but I didn't want to impose that demotion on you. Ooh, Joe's gonna rebuild the load order, huh? Can't wait. You know, the production quality from it's lower to you, young man. Yeah. The production quality jump from Lost in Time to Decayed was so great. It was almost jarring. And I think that the production quality on Decayed has actually gotten better as you've kind of learned what you can do with the new hardware. So I can't wait to see what you come up with when you rebuild as well. Unrelenting Flame. Fire Blast deals additional damage equal to 8% of your current mana. Okay, so I'm trying to keep the mana pool a little on this and kind of try to focus on stamina and health as I need it because above and beyond everything else, we are primarily a unarmed hand-to-hand melee fighter, so probably don't want to take anything that's going to require more investment into the mana pool. Deals additional damage if the target is not attacking the caster. That's rarely going to happen. See, increases searing pain and ignite damage by 100%, which sounds awesome once we get searing pain, which I'll probably take. I think I also have one of the enchanted rings from Forgotten Magic that enhances that searing pain effect as well. Oh, you're getting crashed to desktops in the Reach. I had some CTD issues too. It ended up being my mod profile, the loadout profile, somehow. I had to restart my save game because of it. On this particular series as well. Yeah, there are free tools that you can use to monitor your heat levels too. I think I use GPU Z and CPU Z. Yeah, actually watching people improve on the content that they're putting out is one of my favorite things to witness. Even Couch Warrior, starting from those humble beginnings on the Xbox, and just I think that's what really hooked me on his channel, because he had been around for probably a year or two before I before I actually started subscribing and joined the community and everything. What really hooked me on it was, seeing how much he was improving his content in general and getting a hang of all the tools and everything, and it inspired me to start doing my own stuff. As I'm sure is the case with many of us. Now he's at a point where it's like, there's no way I'm catching up to him. Even for as much as, I'm improving on my own. I think with Stu, the truly special thing, well, the live, the production quality that he gets out of a live stream, I don't think is ever going to be replicated by anybody. I think that's a Stu special. But the other thing that really differentiates the quality of his stuff from others is his photo editing chops. And the way that he's able to make the custom textures and things like that, man. And I have a feeling that comes from years and years and years of professional experience too. So that's one thing I probably will be aspiring to for a very, very long time, if I ever even attain those kind of skills. Let's see here. Combustion. So I think I'm gonna take a double. I'm gonna double check and see what I have in the inventory as far as enchanted items. That might help steer where I'm going with the skill point here. Increases a chance to apply searing pain and ignite. Okay, so that kind of settles it. Ooh. I think I had... Huh. Guess not. It seems... that was spell research, by the way. As soon as you equip an enchanted item, you can choose to study it or analyze it and all that. Oh, Lord Daka, you're talking about the Book of Sable. Yeah, I wasn't there for that when that was new, but I did go back and watch the whole thing, and I know that he wasn't really feeling it, but I think he was selling himself a little bit short on that character. I think he could have followed that up, and if he enjoyed playing it as much as he did the Arrhenius Arcana, the fleet character, that I think he could have come up with something just as good. with that character, in my opinion. Keep trying small things, and they add up to a lot of experience when you want to do something big. Yeah, I'm actually, I have a LinkedIn Learning subscription through work, and I've been wanting to leverage that on some GIMP lessons. The problem is, adult life gets to you at a certain point where, that 8-hour day becomes a 10-hour day after you've accumulated some significant amount of responsibility after being in the industry for a while. And then some at points. And then, you meet someone, whether you end up getting married to that person, having kids with them or whatever, your priorities shift to where now I have a more limited amount of free time that, I want to spend with the people that I love. And, you start getting less time to pursue personal projects. And right now, it's like I can either spend that time relaxing, recharging the batteries, and playing Skyrim and hanging out with y'all, or I can spend it on trying to learn a new skill and maybe not feel as recharged for the workday the next day, Growing up is hard. Joe says, Stu is dangerous. 1, he has a mind that is just in constant motion. He sees things very different ways. 2, he's very talented with graphics, just as you said. Combine them and the sky's the limit. Yeah. I've worked with people who have that restless mind. And in a lot of ways, it can be a liability. But some people flip the script on that, and they use it to their advantage. And not being able to focus on one thing for, weeks at a time, like I said, can be a liability. But if you use it and spin it to where it's like motivation to work on new things and learn new things all the time, then it can be quite an asset. I mean, I never want to say that, somebody with what might be borderline attention deficit issues, I never want to say that they have it easier than me. For sure not. But I have witnessed that it can be used in productive ways. Box up this troll real quick. There you go. Don't even need the fire spells for this guy. See you later says, one of my favorite series ever was Chemical Whispers. Thank you so much. I worked really hard on that. And that was a passion project because it was a lot of work. But I learned so much doing that. Especially in terms of audio, Audacity, and video editing to a large degree too. Movavi makes that easy, but Audacity is a huge skill on its own. It's really impressive what you can accomplish with free tools. He's been living and breathing visuals in one way or another. Yeah, it's immediately apparent in a lot of things, but in my opinion, it's most apparent in his graphic artistry in terms of his work with Photoshop. Yeah, Restless Mind. I mean, we all have our stuff, right? a lot of it comes down to
Another victory for my hero.
learning to you know, play the cards you're dealt. I guess you just got to do the best you can. DACA, yeah, you know, I'm kind of the same way too. For me, a lot of the motivation in pursuing a new interest is how magical that thing can seem on the outside, looking in, not knowing anything about it. And then for me, like, as soon as I get some basic knowledge on it and all that magic goes away, I kind of I tend to lose interest a little bit. I am a programmer, a computer programmer by trade. And before I went to college for it and everything, I used to program for fun. I taught myself Quick Basic on my parents' computer. That was DOS 5.0 on the family computer that they had. And to me, the computer was just this magical box where there was like limitless possibilities and everything. And I was making these programs. I was programming my own little games and stuff. And then I went to college and started taking classes on digital circuitry and everything like that. And I was like, oh, they're all just ones and zeros. There's just a lot of them. And we're pretty much just adding all numbers for... we're doing everything just by adding ones and zeros together. It kind of lost its magic for me. But by that time, there was so much sunken cost in it. And... you know, computer programming is still a very decent way to make a living, and it probably will be for the foreseeable future, so... You know what? I'll do it. And it's not like I don't enjoy it. When I'm properly challenged and I have new things to learn, and... new ways to make a computer more useful for more people, that's, you know, kind of infinitely rewarding. So I don't really have any complaints, for sure, but definitely isn't like it was when it was a brand new world for me. What do I program in? Well, a lot of stuff. A whole lot of virtual duct tape. So a lot of open source stuff. I started out, well, I learned Java and C# in school, and a lot of object-oriented programming. That's where my computer science degree comes in. Basics of database programming and things like that. Relational database structures and things like that. But then, you know, as an intern, they had me doing the lowest order stuff. So doing automated test scripting. And for that, we used an open source tool called AutoIt, or AutoIT. Pirate? Where the hell is this pirate coming from? Which is basically, it's a wrapper that adds libraries, convenience libraries to VB script. So there was a whole lot of VB script at first. And then I got to start working on the framework, the infrastructure behind running those test scripts, which was awesome. Because that was C# and that was real object-oriented programming. And I was doing stuff that was, you know, that I could put on the resume for another job that I would never get. But yeah, the C# stuff is what I really enjoyed. And there was some really cool stuff that I was able to do in that. I was able to expand the automated testing environment, the infrastructure, to do install testing, which was a big thing at the time, because a lot of the infrastructure that we had running was running client-side on the very machine that we were running the tests on. So at the time, it was really impossible to run install tests, anything more than one at a time, because you were spinning up a virtual machine, doing the install tests on it, and then wiping it out and reporting the results back to the server. And all that work was being done on one machine, but I was able to expand that to run through a proxy machine that would handle all the install testing and everything like that. And I got a lot of experience through on network programming through that, using all the sockets and threading and everything that needed to be done on that. So that was one of my favorite projects I did. And that was still technically while I was hourly as an intern. So that actually got my foot in the door for full-time work, and started taking on more infrastructure and automation testing on that. And then a bunch of layoffs hit, and I started having to do installer work, because we were still developing for a desktop application. We actually still are. We're one of the few desktop applications that still exist in any kind of significant way. So a lot of my skill set is still tied up in installer deployment testing, which is completely obsolete by distributed applications now. So that doesn't feel great. But lately, I have been doing more C# work, ASP.NET stuff, and JavaScript, which is definitely still current and marketable. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that. Now learning AngularJS, TypeScript, and RxJS. So a lot of new JavaScript libraries. So there you go. There is my entire professional biography. Now I got to catch up on chat again, because I was rambling and talking so much. Oh, Trailiant popped up. Hello, Trailiant. Glad to see you can make one. Yeah, I suspected Stu had some kind of form of ADHD or something. He may have openly talked about that too, but I have worked with people like him who are, in spite of it, just completely brilliant. They've somehow flipped the script on there, so I kind of knew what that looked like, and I suspected that was what was going on with him a little bit. Daka says he will completely focus on the current problem and shut down almost everything else until I solve. Yeah, that's kind of the way I am too. If there is such thing as an opposite of ADHD, that's probably what I have. I get a little too focused on stuff, and I have a hard time scrapping something that isn't worth the time. Daka's learning C. C is a good one. Things have been going away from the procedural stuff for a long time, if you're not, programming games and stuff. But regular old procedural C still has a place in lower level programming. Not completely wiped out yet. Yeah, I heard a dragon too. Hopefully not a forest dragon. Yeah, Joe, it's the architecture stuff that interests me the most, the high level design stuff. I love architecting a new system from the top down. But, when you have a degree in software engineering, sometimes, the available work is more low level code monkey stuff, which I don't mind. Yeah, Loki, it might be more apparent to some people than others, but I mean that it's just like anything else, right? There's still usually an infinitely talented person in there. So you need to look beyond that stuff, and there's usually a completely, wonderful and enjoyable and talented person like yourself behind those different labels and stuff like that. Wow, saber cats everywhere these days, huh? Do I want to take the time to field dress? What time is it? Ooh, it's 7 p.m. Did I miss my meditation window? And I think I still never took that Forgotten Magic point, did I? So Azura, favor with Azura has gone up a bit since I've been discovering new locations here, so that's good. Oh, Buxy Cat has cookies. But they have enough for everybody. Man, I could really use a cookie right now. Damn it. Making me want cookies all of a sudden. Come on. Yeah, I think we have to take Searing Pain with this one. I think that's just a no-brainer at this point. Do we have a level up we can take too? Yeah. So with the way that this character's, the build side of this character has turned out, stamina is very important. It allows us to keep doing block bashing, which keeps our enemies in block stun. It also translates directly to damage because we have a perk in the light armor tree that translates a certain percentage of your stamina, your current stamina, into direct damage. We are getting to the point now where we did have some scary encounters by getting hit a couple times, especially in the Sightless Pit, or the Stillborn Cave, that was, actually, with those Falmer in there. I'm going to take stamina. It hasn't become an issue so far, especially now that I can dodge on time. Now, what are we going to spend our skill point in? I think since we're doing pyromancy more often now, I think this would be a great one. Combustion would be good. What does that do? Fire spells and effects cast on others up to 20% more powerful based on the target's missing health percentage. I wonder if this affects the hissing dragon effect too. Oh, see you later is going to bed. All right. Sleep well, friend. And thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Oh, it looked like Loki stole all the cookies, and now we gotta go all the way to Asgard to get them. You know what? I think I'll just get my own cookies. How about that, Loki? Not gonna draw me into your mischievous plots. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Daka. I tried to look it up, and I had trouble finding a definitive answer on that. But yeah, I think the combustion perk is going to be a no-brainer for right now. I just want to take a look at the light armor tree and see where we're at with that. Looks like we have to get up to 80 to get anything really meaningful. I think we're good in light armor for just a bit, at least until the next level. So yeah, I like combustion there. Let's take that. Sorry you're streaming Skyrim on your birthday instead of spending it with a hot person of your gender preference, if I have one. Yeah, well, actually, my birthday was yesterday, and I spent it with my wife, who is a hot person of my gender preference, so... yeah. There you go. Thank you for the well wishes, though. I got an extra day off work. Through my company, you get your birthday off. But I was feeling a little exhausted, so I took a day off before and after. So I ended up with like a 5-day weekend, and today is the last day off. So my wife did have to work, so I decided to spend it streaming some Skyrim, hanging out with you guys. Oh yeah, no problem, Loki. Thank you. Cup of tea and a slice of cake. Yeah, that's a great order there, Hoster. Werewolf claws are always treated as unarmed, so in beast form, just so you know. So claws deal hissing dragon magic damage. That's awesome to know. I don't think Jagasta is going to go the whole werewolf route. But that's awesome to know if and when I do spin up a werewolf build. Something that I've wanted to do for a while now since Growl came out, and I haven't really had a good chance to explore that. I have been getting a slight urge to rebuild some of my previous character concepts, namely Aralas, that was the druid archer, who was also a werewolf, so that would be good. And also Alucel, who was my Character Crusade Unbound Season 2 character, I believe. The Ghost of Yore, which Joe so artfully put together for us. That was awesome. That was like one of my favorite playthroughs ever, was the one that I made for that one. So thank you for that. Yeah, Growl is awesome. My load order and my base load order and the mods that I've used in a lot of these characters have been evolving over the last a couple years or so since I've installed the game. So whenever I have a new base load order that I'm happy with, I can't help but think how one of my previous concepts would work with like the new spells and the combat systems and stuff like that. Okay, what keeps... There's something hunting us here. Oh, it sounds like a spider because they just shot that poison spooge at us. Oh, yeah, he got me. They came from behind. They came from behind. Oh, he got me. Wasn't yeety enough. Not enough yeet. Oh, there's another spider.
I learned something from that fight.
Buxy Cat dislikes spider spooge.
Don't get hit.
Okay, so I think I'm going to get what I can out of these spiders here, and then we'll head back to Windhelm, actually. I wanted to get some destruction training from Woonfirth.
It's wonderful to be able to sleep soundly.
And we can get a night's sleep at the Candlehearth Inn. You shall not yeet. Ugh. Zora's getting a little pushy there. Okay, let's head back to the city. I do hear a dragon, but there's that dragon on bone-strewn crest over there, and you can kind of see him through the fog. Probably not a forest dragon, because I don't have that mod installed. But a dragon nonetheless. I admittedly don't have much experience with better vampires. I think I saw a better vampire versus Sacrosanct debate up there. That's a debate that's going to rage on for ages, but I think they're both completely awesome. I have very limited experience with better vampires, but I have loved every second that I have spent with Sacrosanct, and I have spent quite a few seconds in Sacrosanct. I tend to like the gameplay balance in Sacrosanct just a little bit better. It kind of forces you to do some certain things, especially in Vampire Lord form, where you can't recover stamina while in flight mode, or you can't recover mana while in flight mode, and then you can't recover stamina in grounded mode. So it kind of forces you to switch stances, which I think is awesome for gameplay. And the whole Blue Bloods thing, I just think it adds really creative things to the game. Not that Better Vampires doesn't, but I've enjoyed my time with Sacrosanct so much that I just don't feel the need to switch. Hey, Mr. B. Glad to see you could drop in. Yeah, my combat setup is pretty minimal. I don't have anything too fancy. I have Wildcat, Ordinator, TK Dodge, and that's pretty much it. I love the timed blocking mechanics that are added by Ordinator along with Wildcat. TK Dodge, I need a dodge. It just makes the character feel more alive. And then another one that I kind of consider part of that combat overhaul is animated armory. Just because of the new animations and stuff, just make... Ooh, I think I... Nope, I didn't freeze. Okay. The new animations for a lot of those weapons, they add a lot that was severely lacking from the vanilla game. So that's kind of the core of my combat overhaul there. Not much.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire.
I would like to play around with CGO. I don't have a Skyrim EXE right now that supports it, even through the address loader. The main thing that I like from CGO is the baked-in dodge system that you don't have any script lag from.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Yes? Do you think those I understand. The attacks all happened at night, after all.
Ordinating has been wrecked since your sister
Yeah, I always play on Legendary as well, Daka, but I don't mod the game to the point where it's super difficult either. Difficulty is very vanilla. I can adjust it with Wildcat, but yeah, I don't go out of my way to make it more difficult. I just play on Legendary because it's familiar to me, and it strikes a nice balance between being a challenge and being so hard that I don't even know what to do. Lost Boys is a great movie from my time. One of the best vampire movies ever made. Oh, since it's almost Halloween, maybe we should do a favorite Favorite vampire movies of all time? Lost Boys is certainly on the list, I think. Alright, what do I need to do? We're hungry, we're thirsty. So, for me, Lost Boys is definitely on the list. Interview with the Vampire is also definitely on the list. I think I have to include Bram Stoker's Dracula in there. I have mixed feelings about the Dracula movie. The Bram Stoker's Dracula, the book, was really, really awesome. One of my favorite horror books of all time. The movie was great, but they changed so much fundamentally from the book to the movie. Specifically, the fact that they made Dracula more of a sympathetic character. In the books, he was just... They kind of described it as... you know what? I should cook up some of this meat here, too. They described it as all the evil in the world swirling around, like, in the atmosphere a little bit, and funneling all of its evil intent and energy and power into this one being. And just the plot that Dracula had to kind of take over London and everything was kind of the same in the movie, but it was more terrifying in that context. Yeah, Interview with the Vampire I liked more than the sequel, for sure. I enjoyed Blade. I think of that less as a vampire movie somehow, more of an action movie. In terms of sword fighting movies, I think Blade is right up there. Underworld was good as an action movie too. It doesn't kind of measure up to Lost Boys and Interview with the Vampire or Dracula in my mind as a vampire movie. Twilight, don't even say it. I'm glad you cut yourself off there because I would have too. Ooh, raw hominid flesh. Where did I get that?
I was thinking customers would love the opportunity.
Gross. Definitely not cooking that up. We'll have to find a place to discreetly deposit that somewhere.
I hope so. What about maiden?
Gonna have to get some more water from Elda.
Not likely. You know, some nights I close my eyes. I'm composing a new song, a ballad for my love.
There's a big vampire movie that I'm missing here, and I can't think of what it is. I'm drawing a blank.
Those dark elf refugees will take over this city if we aren't careful.
Near Dark was a good one. Those were like subtle vampires, though.
Of course.
Yeah, there's one that I'm missing here. Magus is an unashamed fan of Twilight. Okay, I didn't know that about you, Magus. I am not going to think less of you, because I don't think you should judge people based on their flaws. No, I'm kidding. They were entertaining. I don't mind the sort of vampire lore in that series. Oh, the one I'm thinking of is it was the one with Chloe Grace Moretz in it. Invite Me In or something like that. That was awesome. Does anybody know what I'm talking about with that movie? Oh yeah, Let the Right One In. I think you might be right. That was a very unique take on a vampire movie. That was awesome. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor. Lestat is an amazing character. One of the greatest vampire characters of all time. For sure. I'm just eating and drinking everything because I'm distracted by vampire movies now. Yeah, it was the young girl who was a vampire. That was a really creepy twist to that movie. Yep. That's the one, Hester. Oh, I should do some studying on some spells. Let's see, where are we at here with our skills? Destruction, Alteration's gonna level us up more. Let's go ahead and focus on Alteration tonight, again. What do we have? We'll do Divine Armor. Oh, you know, I don't know if I've actually seen the original one. I might have to do that, Buxy. I only watched the American version that wasn't the original language one, and I thought that was amazing. I thought it was a very unique take on vampires. And I thought they did do a good job on in the Hollywood one, focusing on the kid aspect of it, but if it goes more into that in the original one, I really have to track that down. Yes, I have heard of that game. I played the first two. The Legacy of Kain, it was the top-down role-playing game, kind of reminiscent of the Legend of Zelda series. And then the third-person action one, the third-person action take on it, was Soul Reaver, I think, was also really cool. The movie, I don't know if it's on Netflix or not. I actually saw it so long ago that I rented the DVD from Blockbuster. But yeah, those first two games are really cool. I haven't played any of the more contemporary ones, and that's probably one that is due for a reboot if they could do it correctly. I remember the newer ones were kind of like a Castlevania action style type thing. Never really got into those, but the first two I did enjoy quite a bit. Hey Joe, welcome back. Oh, I'm studying here. We're discussing our favorite vampire movies of all time. Alright, no worries. No worries. You know what? I love garlic bread. I don't think I could be a vampire. I love garlic so much. That is not ringing a bell for me at all there, Loki.
It was a bit difficult to come to the ways of Mara at first.
You know, I said it isn't ringing a bell, but now I'm now I'm getting a flash of some kind of weird little green vampire with pointy ears. Almost looks like Yoda. And I don't know where that's coming from because that doesn't sound familiar at all. Ah, the Count. He is the best Muppet. The best Sesame Street character. Okay, so vampire movies out of the way. What about werewolf movies? I don't think that anything is ever going to top American Werewolf in London. I think that is the end-all, be-all, greatest werewolf movie of all time. Fight me. Alright, we need 9 hours of sleep here. Yeah, that one, I wanted to like it. The Wolf one with Jack Nicholson, I wanted to like it more than I actually did. I'm going to have to rewatch it, though.
Questionable things in my life. Serving Vermina was a horrible mistake. And I hope Mara will forgive me one day.
Come on. Out of the way, Zora. I'm ready for you to move out of my way. Oh, jeez. Alright, just had to force her. Just had to force the issue, I guess. Okay, let's go find Woundfirth. And then they did a new sequel to that movie called American Werewolf in Paris or something. It wasn't as good. I feel like it just tried too hard to be like the original. And there was no way it was ever going to match, you know, measure up. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't great.
I did that engraved piece just last month.
This is the Royal Armor Line.
Really bad vampire movie with Luke Evans. Yeah, we did talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it's a great movie. I just think they changed a little too much from the book. I feel like Dracula should be a fundamentally evil character. In the movie, they made him a little more sympathetic. One werewolf movie that I liked, it's nowhere on the same level as American Werewolf in London. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I enjoyed it immensely. Was I think it was called Ginger Snaps. Teen Wolf? I loved Teen Wolf. I'm sorry. Sorry, Loki. I love Teen Wolf. Oh, we're getting a little bit of buffering here, huh? Let me know if that continues to be an issue. I haven't seen the sequel. Yeah, I enjoyed Ginger Snaps. Yeah. That's for sure. She was indeed.
Whether it's armor you need or a new blade.
I was wondering if you still had many associates in the shipping profession. I have a business proposition for any sailors who might be looking to make a...
Oh, this looks like a mess. Okay, you know what? I better take on this quest, because if I don't,
Hold it there.
it'll get bugged out at some point.
Will you spare a few coins to help someone who's got nothing?
Oh, Loki has heard of Ginger Snaps and enjoyed it. Great. Still on VHS, huh? You know, I think I still have a couple of VHSs around with some recorded stuff on it, and actually some, like, actual production VHSs. One movie I have on VHS that I'm proud of that was really hard to find, and it never was printed on DVD or Blu-ray, at least at the time, was Meet the Feebles.
The divine smile on those who show mercy and charity.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles was Peter Jackson. This was edgy Peter Jackson before Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson. Just completely ridiculous. It's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, all done with Muppets. And I don't know if it's in print on digital media or if you can find it like on Amazon or Netflix or anything now, but it's worth a watch if you like the losing the word here. The dichotomy between, you know, disgusting adult-oriented violence, sex, and like drug abuse and stuff, but all being done by Muppets. Dusk Till Dawn, I love Rodriguez. I wanted to like Dusk Till Dawn a lot more than I actually did. That was another one of those. But yeah, it was good.
you want to help, ask some of these Gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
Ah, the non-ruined copies of Skyrim, Star Wars. That's a collector's edition. I think once George Lucas actually finally, you know, kicks it, I'm sure they will release
Always sad when someone has to die.
the original versions.
Sorry. I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
Another one. Terrible. I heard a scream and came running, but she was already like this when I got here.
I have when they first the Star Wars set when they first came out on Blu-ray. I got the Blu-ray set of that.
They're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters.
This is a shame.
And I enjoyed it, but that was like,
Joining up myself.
it seemed like they were just adding digital effects just for the hell of it because they could, and that was before digital effects got to the point where they are today.
I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse
And even with today's
supper is what I asked.
computer-generated stuff that they can do,
As if Skyrim
I don't think that they're going to hold a candle to the practical effects, the puppets and everything. Spoken to the witnesses.
Nobody saw anything useful. Bastards escaped again.
Oh, it looks like you're talking about the history of the real Dracula. Yeah, I don't know much history about it. I do know the book quite well.
Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest.
But not the real guy.
Steward, though. We can't just let anyone go around claiming to be on official business. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
I ain't asking for much. Just a few septums.
Have your friends direct your movies and they'll turn out better. That's funny.
Something on your mind?
Take the nightshade. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ask the steward. We have some palace business we can do here. We gotta ask the steward about these murders. See if we can help in any kind of official or unofficial capacity. I think Jagasta would be more than willing to help out with these murders here.
Won't give us a straight answer.
The parody song?
A true Nord.
Yeah, I'll look that up later for sure.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great...
Let's get our destruction training before we get too far into the weeds of this quest, though. Yeah, I know, Buxy. That's why I'm trying to get through this now.
I've never admitted this before.
I don't know how much business Jagasta's going to do in Windhelm, but
I'll just leave it at that.
I don't see him doing the Civil War quest, so I don't think not having access to Hieram is a big deal one way or the other. But I like to keep my options open, so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this now while we're here.
Well for the service. Mind what or who you practice this on. Spells and incantations. For those with the talent to cast them.
Okay, I'm going to save my actual gear that I'm using, the enchantment slots on that for when, A, I have a better enchanting skill, and B, I have a better soul to use for it. But I think for now I can enchant this amulet here. And let's see if I have disease or poison immunity here. Water breathing, maybe? Doesn't look like I have any of that. Sneak's probably the best I'm going to get out of this. Okay. And we can sell that back to Woundfirth and get our training dollars back. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Yes, I'm a powerful... So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Well, not all of our training dollars, apparently. Oh, and I slept past 5 o'clock. Damn it. Anybody who has caught any of the Wynn's recent streams know that she is sharing the same plight as well, missing those meditation windows, those prayer windows.
Let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still waiting.
Yeah, Loki, I don't think the level or the difficulty will affect the bugginess of this too much. It more has to do with, at least from what I've seen, how much you've been in and out of the city before starting the quest, and particularly what NPCs are still around. Because it kind of randomly takes a female NPC from around the hold or around the city. And that's a big cause of a lot of the issues with this, is, in my experience anyway, is it'll try to use an NPC that is dead or otherwise predisposed, and it can't do that part of the quest.
He's doing some ritual, trying to call the Dark Brotherhood. Who's going to stop him? Me? I have no part of that.
Let's see, Hastur has some a history bomb that he's dropping on us here.
Magic's fine. Just don't go burning down any buildings.
Oh, I never talked to the steward. Duh. Let's see. Historically, Vlad of House Dracul, aka the Impaler, was a Wallachian prince who lived during the 15th century, has trained along with the Sultan's son on the arts of war. Okay.
Won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that.
So yeah, there was a newer movie
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all
that kind of went through his like whole war stuff too, I think.
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts.
You think I need to send
My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary. I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well.
A more powerful statement, don't you think?
If you have any news of the Western Holds, take it to Ulfric immediately.
Soon.
Let's go and examine the crime scene here. We're gonna put on our Gil Grissom hat here and spray that stuff all over the place where we can look for hidden blood. Dust for prints. Take it back to the lab and see what we can figure out.
My sister and I once traveled the world.
Hey, you mix potions, right? Can you brew me an ale? All right then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from here. Helgerd's taken the
Later he came back to rule his land as his father passed away, when the Sultan demanded from Vlad to offer tribute in the form of children to make... Jeez, yeah, sounds like a pretty bad guy.
Let me guess.
Man, I want to watch The Mandalorian, but I really don't want to pay for another streaming service, you know? I already have way more than I can ever watch with Netflix and Hulu, or not Hulu, Amazon Prime. and HBO. It gets to the point now where it's like my wife and I are sitting on the couch wondering what we should watch, and we just have way too many options. We can't pick something. So I feel like, yeah, there's like individual stuff on like Hulu and
Please, leave me be. I don't want any trouble.
Hulu and the Apple TV that I would like to have access to, but it would just exacerbate the problem even more.
Thank you. But if you have questions, I'm afraid I won't be of much help.
Plus the fact it's getting to be a small fortune every month to pay for all these different streaming services. I liked Hulu when it was free with commercials. That was nice.
I know, but I don't know much about the city. I'm new here, like you. Not long. I haven't found a place yet since we left Morrowind. They have beds at Candlehearth Hall.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work, Monk. Oh, you know, I still have a subscription for Showtime through Amazon as well, because I wanted to watch Twin Peaks, and I never canceled it.
I always felt a great deal of guilt running from Nightcrawler.
Damn. I need to go back through and do that. I could save myself like $15 a month or something like that.
My family. They're gone. I'm sorry. It's just... it hurts to talk about it. Thank you. Feltus used to tell me the same, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I love both. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I like good stuff. I tend to be drawn more towards like the fantasy stuff, though. Probably my preference, but yeah, I love the space stuff too.
He was my brother, my fraternal twin. But the only thing we shared was her birthday. He was brown.
Wizards in space. Did you just describe a Jedi, though?
When we were children,
so you're saying you don't like Star Wars?
Sweets from the cupboard. When the elders forbade destruction magic, he would rush me to the neighbor's yard as a fright of chickens. The elders blamed me. I was the responsible.
Was that the entire point you were trying to make?
They said I was supposed to stop him. That it was my fault. They were right.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but blaming yourself isn't healthy.
It's all my fault. I was supposed to look after him.
Zora's looking good in that North Girl armor. I approve. Let's see here. What happened the night you arrived in Windhelm?
We had just crossed the border to Refugees' Rest. Father read the decree. Mother placed mountain flowers by the shallow grave markers. Only Feltus didn't care about graves and monuments. It was already an hour past midnight. He shouldn't have gone on ahead.
You know, I actually don't mind. Well, actually, the last three I liked a lot. The last three of the mainline Star Wars movies. I never got as far into Star Wars as other people. I never really felt like it defined any part of me or was like a big part of who I was or my views on pop culture or anything like that. It was never more than a good series of movies to me. The middle three, which are kind of universally loathed, I didn't think were great. great movies.
Mother and I, we followed.
But I thought that they had some cool action sequences and stuff in them. Like the lightsaber battles in those middle three were probably the best out of any of them,
I thought he'd slip.
in my opinion.
Mother hollered at Feldus to be careful.
Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul. That was the stuff right there.
It all happened so fast.
One of the greatest sword fighting scenes in any movie.
It didn't even make a sound. It just came
In my
straight
opinion.
through the ice like a ghost. It was a hand. When Feldus hit the floor, the ice broke. He fell in, and Father went in after. Mother was screaming, and I just froze. We were standing on the embankment when more of them, they came right out of the snow. I felt a hand. It was cold, so cold, and I fainted. They say my blood turned hot as fire, but all I remember was the frigidness of that hand. I woke up inside the temple. Jorah was whispering a prayer. I felt so strange, so weak.
The original 1985 cartoon movie of the Transformers. I feel like I saw that when I was a kid, but I don't remember enough of it. I would like to track that down though. I like watching old stuff like that from my childhood. One thing that surprisingly held up well, that I enjoyed a little more recently, was the 90s Saturday morning cartoon version of the X-Men. That was like surprisingly deep and well written for Saturday morning cartoon.
I'm sorry.
And now we're getting more into comic book stuff, but yeah, there you go. Still something that defined my childhood, I would say. Nightcrawler, yeah, Gambit was awesome. Gambit is like basically, is basically just Robart Graves, I think.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Loki, you dressed as Nightcrawler, or are you dressed as Gambit?
Well, she's dead, but I guess that's not unusual, at least not.
Oh, from the movie, yeah.
Here. I mean,
The movie is a little easier to cosplay as, I think.
was only joking with you. Not really. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with, well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course.
There's a lot of Picard hate, huh? I was never a huge Star Trek guy, but I never had any reason to dislike Jean-Luc.
I wouldn't hold out too much hope. Now, I really got to get back to the body. A lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
I guess some people are just more James T. Kirk folks. I like them both. Ooh, there's a sky shard over there. Definitely grabbing that. No perks, huh? Boo. Oh, there's a series called Picard. Oh, is that an Apple Plus thing? That's a newer one, isn't it? I don't know how you can not love Spock. He's the best of both worlds. He's like a half-elf. That is a cool trick. You must have been standing in the spot for a really long time.
Soldiers in the Stormcloak army. So I took a sword to the chest.
Are you sure it was through your chest and not through your legs?
I'd be out there fighting the Imperials right now if it wasn't for my war wound.
Alright, well, I'll leave you to that. I got some blood spatter to follow up on here. You know what? Should I just try to unlock this? Just pick the lock? I feel like in terms of roleplay, Jagasta would go through all the loops to try to get the key from, what's her name? But I'm kind of not feeling like I want to do that. Yeah, Spock is a space Breton. a tall one, that's for sure. Of course, in the earlier Elder Scrolls game, I actually really enjoyed Pacific Rim 2. I haven't seen the newer ones all the way through, but I did really enjoy the first one. Hell, I'll just pick the lock. What was I talking about before the Pacific Rim thing came up? I don't know. It's gone. One came on some network TV, or maybe one of the cable networks not too long ago, and I was enjoying what I saw of it, but I was only kind of watching it halfway through and not really paying full attention to it. But I enjoyed what I saw of it. It was the one with the girl who made her own little, what were they calling them? Jaegers. And then got recruited to fight the second wave or whatever of the kaiju. Probably the sequel, because I did watch the first one all the way through and enjoyed it. I'm out of lockpicks. Oh boy. Alright. Well, jump through the hoops we must, I suppose.
Give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude.
I love how strong these opinions are on different series of Star Trek.
And what would you have me do?
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all the same.
He knows that.
There's nobody who's saying like, it's alright. It's like you either like all of it or like you just have really deep-seated aggression towards a certain series.
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving...
Frigga Shattershield's old place? It's been abandoned ever since she was killed. I think her mother, Tova, is the...
Tova Shatter Shield. I was thinking Soba, but that's a type of noodle. That is not,
Travel safely.
that is not a Nordic name.
Torek was merely a message to the other Jarls.
The Trekkie community is intense. Okay, Loki, then how do you feel about the newer movies? Because a lot of diehard Trekkies really did not like the movies because they turned them into blockbuster action flicks. Yakisoba indeed. Oh, we got a dragon. Oh god, I'm getting pinned in by my spirit animals here. Oh, we got Susanna's body helping us out here. You would think in spirit form she'd be fully clothed, like full power Susanna. Well, that's sad. If that's how she's going to the sands beyond the moons, it's not a good way to spend eternity. Okay, she's gone. Nope. Susanna, you left too early. Zachary Quinto. I know him better as Sylar from Heroes. Man, that movie or that series I wanted to like a lot more than I did. I tried really hard to love that series, and I just after the first season, where the kind of the exposition magic wore off, I just couldn't get into it. Ugh, this dragon's making me dizzy. He's having a real hard time trying to find a place to perch there, isn't he? And it is a frost dragon, so we can pepper him with fire blasts here.
I bet that
Switch into first person, so I can aim a little easier. Third person view with the mod loadout that I have, it kind of gets a little wonky with the projectile aiming. Arrows are fine, more so for spells and thrown weapons. They get a little funky. Oh my god, this is going to be so tedious. Will you find a place to perch and just perch already? It's like shit or get off the pot, am I right? See, I always enjoyed Star Wars more than I enjoyed Star Trek, so when they made a Star Trek movie that was basically a Star Wars movie, I was all in. I was like, yeah, I like Star Trek now all of a sudden. Sorry if I have to fight anybody now, but that's the way I feel. I feel how I feel. I like what I like. The heart wants what the heart wants. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Loki, get ready. Ah! Okay. Sorry, you've been cheated of another count there, Loki. Kicked him in the butt for the finish. Woo!
Was a horrible mistake, and I hope Mara will forgive me one
Okay, that was a little intense. I think so. But where did it come from? Is the question. Okay. Give me a second here. Let me catch back up on chat. Oh, a Frost Dragon, the other FD. The better FD. Yeah, I have heard saying that they kind of sold their soul a little bit in terms of like exploration and everything, and sacrificed it for action. I always like the action stuff better anyway. I mean, I always enjoyed Star Trek. It's not that I didn't like it, but I don't know. I thought the first of the newer movies with Chris Pine as James T. Kirk was good. But yeah, I can see where you're going with being not thrilled that they lost the exploration aspect of it. For sure, for sure. Oh no, Odo? Wasn't he like the detective, the noir detective of the group? And he had a bit of well, to put not too fine a point on it, he kind of had like a testicle nose. Am I thinking of the right guy? There was something a bit phallic about something on his face, is all I remember. Oh no, are we getting audio crackle now? That is a bummer. Okay, well, I have not been able to fix the crackle without restarting the stream.
Still here.
Keep letting me know. Is it clearing up at all, or is it getting worse? Yeah, alright. So I think I'll probably just have to call it a stream here. I've been going for, I don't know, about 2 hours or so is what YouTube's telling me. And like I said, I can't clear up the sound without restarting the stream, so I have to stop it anyway. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Sorry that the crackle made its way in. Got gremlins or something, I guess. But yeah, thanks. As Buxy said, live long and prosper. Thanks for joining me, everybody. If you like Skyrim content and want to hang out with a great community, check out the links in the description below. There's always something going on. There's a lot of us. We all love Skyrim, so check it out. And for members of the community, I'll see you around, okay? Thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you around.